Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chucklers podcast. This is podcast number 7, lucky number 7.
Ooh, nice. All right. Feeling it.
I am Omar, and with me is Paul.
I am Paul.
You guessed it.
Yep.
You guessed correctly. It's Paul.
I'm Paul.
You know what? We're gonna dive right in right away. So, as always, we do have our sponsors. We want to thank our sponsors today. Our sponsors are the beautiful. All right, thank you, sponsors.
Thank you very much. If you'd like to ask about sponsorship slots, please.
Please email us
Please
at
do.
treechucklers@gmail.com because Google is the authoritative force in all our lives.
I'm totally fine with handing over my life to Google. I already have, pretty much. Yeah.
Man, speaking of Google, Bitcoin is insane right now.
That segue, though.
All right, I
right.
just want to make a quick note of the fact that I think last time we talked, it was at 13,000 about Bitcoin. Last time we talked about Bitcoin, it was at 13,000. And then it went up during the podcast. And then obviously since then,
Went
it
down.
dropped down to almost 6,000.
Ooh, damn. All right.
To all my intelligent investors out there who bought it at a discount,
Investors.
at the discount that it was, congratulations. You've almost doubled your money to today. Today it's at 10,700. That's what I just checked. So if you bought it at the 6,000 low, you read right, and I'm proud of you.
Nice.
And don't sell.
See, I don't like calling them investors because Bitcoin's supposed to be a currency, everyone.
Well, yeah,
Don't
see?
treat it like an investment.
That's the thing. It was supposed to be a currency. It's becoming more of digital gold. It's becoming digital gold, and that's fine.
Wait, what do you mean?
So, just in
Well-
essence of, since its value continues to rise, you can't really use a currency that's deflationary and has a value that continues to rise.
Well, yeah, that's
Because
the thing. Like, that's why I don't like this whole Bitcoin culture.
It
Because,
has to be.
a lot of people, when they say, like, oh, why should I care about Bitcoin? A lot of people talk about, like, oh, we need, like, a decentralized currency that isn't tied to any one company or any one country's currency. Like, crypto is so much better, it's more secure. They say all those things, and then they don't use any of those benefits. They just use it to make quick US dollars.
Oh, I think at some point, perhaps Bitcoin could be used as a currency. I'm not sure what they need to do in order to change that.
Yeah.
Right now, it's definitely not even close to being a currency that's usable.
Yep. Super volatile.
But either way, I would argue that it would be a mistake not to put some money in Bitcoin, even if it's $10, even if it's $100, because at the end of the day, the value is going to rise. In my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, like, if it's this low, put in as much money that you're willing to lose.
And we are not
That's for-
financial advisors.
We're not financial
All
advisors.
investments do have risk.
Yep.
We're dorks.
That's
that just talk about things.
dorks. What is this? The early 2000s?
Yeah.
Wow,
with
you
whale
dweeb.
penises.
What?
You do know a dork is a whale penis, right?
Today I learned.
Are you serious?
How do you-
Are you serious right now?
I mean, I'm not too familiar
Whoa.
with aquatic mammalian penis
I
lingo.
thought you knew this. Yeah.
Why would I know
The
that?
terminology for a whale's penis is called a dork. It's a dork.
What situation would I need, or what situation would there be that I need to know that a dork is a whale penis?
When you're on Tree Chucklers podcast number 7, and I say dork, and I ask you what dork means.
Okay. So during
Or what a dork
like
is.
6th grade biology, when they were telling us about
Whales.
like animals,
Yeah. Like
whales.
sea creatures. And then we talked
Yup.
about whales. They were like, oh, by the way, a dork is a whale's penis. And everybody
wait,
was
okay.
like, this shit's funny.
Do you remember? There's a video on YouTube where it's this really enthusiastic marine biologist, right? And she's at like a whale like beached itself, right? And I guess it died because they were like cutting it. They cut it open, and that didn't cause it to die. It died, and then they cut it open. But she was like super excited because like, oh my god, wait, I think I see the whale penis, and like it's just out there because it's dead, you know, like rigor mortis or something like that. She takes it. Yeah, she takes it and she's just like flapping it around. I'm like, what are you doing, lady? She's just super enthusiastic, which is a really weird thing. So,
well, look, to bring it full circle with Bitcoin, just like a whale's penis, Bitcoin will continue to grow, and so I highly encourage.
Nice.
So I highly encourage, but as I say, I'm not a financial advisor. All investments have risk. All risks have investments. I put money in Bitcoin. I know I'm gonna make money from Bitcoin, but it's not gonna be this 6 month, 1 month, 1 day, even a year of keeping it in there. It's got to be a long term, 10+ years. You'll see an actual growth. Yeah, I mean that's with anything.
Do you think Bitcoin's gonna last that long?
You literally can't delete it.
Well, yeah, I mean it's physically gonna be a thing, but Beanie Babies are still a thing.
Yeah, and it's absolutely possible that you'll have moments where coins will fall out of favor for whatever reason, and a new one might be dominant. But I think Bitcoin's in a position where it has so much experience and so much its ability to still be alive during some of the worst moments in crypto history shows that it's resilient to change.
I think it might be. Do you think it's too big to fail? Because it's basically the cryptocurrency.
Well, okay, those are two different things. I think are you talking about like?
Well,
too big to fail,
as in like the banks and the auto industry. I'm talking about like it will always be relevant.
I mean, I think it'll always be relevant in the crypto world because it was the first cryptocurrency to introduce crypto and the idea of online ledgers and the technology that it's based on, which is going to be implemented in literally everything when you're talking about blockchain technology.
Oh yeah,
I mean that stuff's going to be insane. Smart contracts are going to be insane too for those who are into Ethereum.
So real quick, you mentioned blockchain. It's kind of funny because I'm on a lot of design teams, and on one of them, one of the electrical engineering guys, he brought up blockchain. It's like, hey guys, we should use a blockchain file sharing service. And it was just like that.
What the hell?
That sounds like the most clickbaity technology out there.
How does that work?
I don't know. But I mean, like if you put blockchain in front of anything, or like you just put blockchain
goes up,
yeah. Like, did you hear about that story of it was a Long Island like beverage company called Long Island Iced Tea, not the alcoholic drink. It was actually called Long Island Iced Tea. They changed their name to Long Island Blockchain, and their stock like soared.
Yeah,
like it shot up. This is
just like the .com boom. People don't necessarily know what the hell it is. All they know is that there's money suddenly being poured into it, and people are throwing money everywhere.
Yeah,
that's why you have people who just lost, pretty much their life savings investing in shit coins like BitConnect, which was an absolute fraud.
You say shit coins?
Yeah, that's a term. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I'm on board.
I'm telling you, man. You would really enjoy the crypto world. If you just dive in a little. Just put your toes in there.
Talking about like it's an exclusive club. It's like, hey man, like have you heard about cryptocurrencies?
So Bitcoin and Ethereum, those are considered main coins, and then there's altcoins like Litecoin, like Monero, Dogecoin. Even though Dogecoin is obviously a fraud, the founder came out a while ago and was like, okay, I have no idea why it's worth this much. Do not invest in Dogecoin.
At least it's stable. One Dogecoin is equal to one Doge.
Get out of here.
And that's constant. That will never change. 1-to-1 ratio right there. But anyway, the coins. Tell me about the coins.
Well, it's a new technology. There's zero regulations in terms of like when it comes to stock markets. If you compare it to the stock markets have plenty of regulation. People will take a coin that nobody's ever heard of, or maybe a coin that just came out, through an ICO, and they will pour in a bunch of money to raise the price, and then once they get to a certain point, they'll drop out of it.
Sounds like insider trading.
I'm totally forgetting what the term is called when you do that. You flood the market, the price goes up, and then once the price goes up at a certain point, you get out, or you get out a little earlier than what your goal was.
Man, that's trying to throw back to AP micro or AP macro econ.
Yeah, it's shit because the people who do it, the people who start it are the ones that benefit, and the people who obviously get in because they see that a coin's suddenly raising its value, they're losing, and that's fraud in a sense. I don't know if that's fraud in the legal term, but it's fraud.
Well, in this day and age, like, is something like there can be morally wrong and legally wrong, right?
That's definitely morally wrong.
Yeah. But do you think we should be able to punish someone for morally wrong things, even if there isn't an explicit law stating, like, hey, it's against law?
I think there's plenty of things that we convict people of when it comes to morally wrong things, such as murdering someone.
Yeah, but that's also, like, we have made that also legally wrong.
Okay.
Basically what I'm asking
like things
is
that aren't currently illegal.
Yeah. So in the court of law, basically the situation would be, like, someone commits like some sort of morally wrong act, right? Do you think, like, we could bring that person in, like, and act was not illegal, according to, like, our definitions of, like, law at the time, what they did wasn't illegal. Do you think, like, we could collectively say, like, hey, we shouldn't make that illegal? And
I think what you're talking about is the process of making laws for a society to function. I mean, most things that are illegal are things that are immoral.
Yeah, and then also, like, it's...
So, did you get what I'm saying? Like, what you're saying is like how society kind of functions already.
Yeah, but it's basically, like, can we retroactively convict someone of a crime? It's like, it wasn't legal, but, like, it was pretty fucked up.
Wait, you mean it wasn't illegal, but it was pretty fucked up?
They did something.
You'd have to give me examples. I think
this is really, it's just like an interesting thing. I think that if someone did something, like, incredibly heinous that was not for some reason
illegal,
a law, like, we should be able to retroactively punish them, just because, like, hey, everyone kind of agrees that you were a dick. So
I mean, that's a weird one, because then if it's not in the books, then that's like that could turn into a witch hunt really quickly.
True.
So
I do see like some sort of slippery slope going there.
That's being a vigilante. Boom.
Are vigilantes bad?
I don't know. Is Batman bad?
We talked about Batman on the last podcast. You want to go again?
He doesn't follow the law.
True, but he does deliver justice.
But he does deliver genuine justice.
Justice in our eyes. I mean, like...
I highly recommend that people read the book Batman and Philosophy. It's a great book.
Ooh.
Great book. It'll... Because a lot of... I mean, first of all,
description.
Batman's already incredibly complex. Like, the world of Batman is insane. But that book connects Batman to our real world.
Yeah.
And makes you think about certain ideas that are promulgated in the book that you don't necessarily pick up right away because you're so used to the story.
Wait.
Explain it a little bit. Here's a good one. So, Batman and Joker, the longest ongoing battle in history of comics, maybe. I would like to think so because Batman's dope. Definitely the most famous. A lot of people say, look, Batman refuses to kill the Joker, even though if he were to kill the Joker, Joker would not have been able to kill all those innocent lives. And so killing that one person would help save those thousands of lives that the Joker's already taken. So isn't it worth it to just kill the Joker? And here's where Batman comes in. So this once again, there's actually an easier way to set this up. I'm sure
That's
some
basically the
people,
trolley problem.
I'm sure you've heard. Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say the trolley problem. So what you have is there's a trolley going down a hill, and you can't stop it. You're the person in the trolley. You're the only person in the trolley. You can't stop it, and it's gonna. There's a split coming up, and on the left side, or actually, you're currently on a track to hit 5 people. Would you? And okay, sorry, I'm totally fucked this. So there's 2 splits. One split that you're currently on, it has 5 people in it. 5 people on the tracks. On the other split, on the other side of the split, which you're not currently headed towards, there's 1 person.
Yeah.
Right. So, would you flip the switch to go hit the 1 person, to kill the 1 person instead of killing the 5? Or would you not flip the switch? Is essentially that problem. Yeah. And actually, I guess I want your opinion on it before I talk about Batman's philosophy on it.
So, basically, the interesting thing about that problem is if you do nothing, more people will die. If you do something, and thus you put yourself, or you make yourself the cause of something, right? You kill 1 person. So that basically, you murdered that person, but you did save other people. I'm a pretty practical person. I would flip the switch. 5's greater than 1. A lot of people say oh, but what if the 1 person was a doctor, and then the 5 other people were murderers? It's I didn't know that at the time. That's just an unfortunate situation.
But even then, a life is a life. You know?
In that situation, with only the information that you're given, it's just a numbers game. You have to save the most people that you can.
Yeah, and then I was about to say there's a second version where there's 5 doctors on one on the track that you're heading on, and then on the other one there's a burglar. Do you flip the switch? And then people say, well, yeah, of course, I'd rather hit the burglar than hit the 5 doctors. Yeah, and that's just that kind of demonstrates how we value certain lives. Mm-hmm. Obviously, but at the end of the day, Batman. Or go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, there's also, real quick before you get onto your Batman thing, there's also a version where you're on a bridge, right? There's only 1 track this time, and there's 5 people on the track as always. But on the bridge is a really fat guy. Do you? And the guy is fat enough where if he were to be in front of the trolley would stop, saving everyone. Would you push the fat guy off the bridge onto the tracks, killing him, but saving everyone else? It's a really weird twist to it, but it's interesting. I think if you look at the Wikipedia article, there's a whole bunch of
it's the same thing. It's the same situation.
But the weird, what's weird about it is that you, numbers wise, everything stays the same, right? Between a lot of these situations, it's just that the role that you play and also the people that are killed, those change between it, and people's answers change across different situations. Yeah. So it's just interesting, again, as you said, how we value lives. But back to your Batman thing.
Well, Batman, what he says is, look, I'm not going to flip the switch. I don't care that I'm about to kill 5 people. I'm not going to flip the switch, because the second that I do, I am the cause. I am the sole reason for killing the 1 person. And that goes against his morals, his values, his line of morality. He refuses to take a life, and in that situation, he would be taking a life if he did flip that switch. And a lot of people think that's moronic. A lot of people think that's really stupid. But Batman continues on by saying, "Yeah, if I decide to flip that switch and kill the 1 person, what's gonna stop me when there's 500 on one side and there's 100 on the other? And what's going to stop me when there's 1,000 on one side and 500 on the other?" And so essentially what he's saying is, look, if I decide to break my line of morality, then I officially, I now have allowed the capacity for that line to be continuously pushed. I have set the precedent. And so that's why he refuses to do it.
That's an interesting extension.
Yeah.
Like our extension of line of thinking.
Because, like, look, if he kills the Joker, then why the hell doesn't he just kill all the other villains that pop up?
True.
Then he's just a murderer.
Yeah. I guess he's a vigilante.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A murderous vigilante.
I guess it's basically like, oh, like once we resort to their tactics, we're as bad as them.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. Which is true.
I mean, in some situations, it's like, look, you're gonna have to do some bad things. Like basically, thinking about the military, it's like, yeah, the military kills people. Like, you know, you kind of have to. Like,
we also don't live in a comic book, obviously.
Oh yeah, true.
Utilitarianism is gonna. I think that's what it is.
Utilitarianism.
Yeah, like do what benefits most people versus what benefits you.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah. So yes. That's a good one. Like, a lot of people say, well, why do we police the world? Why did we decide that we're the police of the world? And a good response to that is, well, whenever the U.S. has backed out of certain conflicts, most of those conflicts have ended badly for the people that live there. You know, like, for example, in Vietnam, we pulled out and they're communists. So who benefited there?
There's a lot of intricacies within that.
Obviously.
A lot of time, I mean, like, I don't think we should get into this because it's a very complex topic, like the Vietnam War and U.S. involvement in foreign affairs. But I think going back to that that question, like why does the U.S. police the world? Because we can, like we have the capacity to. And it's basically in our best interest.
Obviously, it's in our best
interest. The direct
interest.
line of benefits might not be as straight as most people think, but you know, there is a justification for a lot of things.
And
the strength of the justification might not be as strong as some people think, but you know.
And that, you know, and it kind of on a similar topic, there's this idea that justice and evil, justice can work and evil actually can't work. Like evil, the idea of an evil entity or I guess, I don't know, evil, like the idea of evil doesn't work, or the methods of evil doesn't work because evil always trumps evil. So as in, like,
wait,
there's always one where there's one communist, there's always another communist that wants to take that communist down.
Oh, okay.
Maybe communism is not a good one, but where there's one dictator, there's always another person that wants to overthrow that dictator, kill that dictator, and then make it its own dictator. So evil trumps evil. You know what I'm saying?
Like you don't have like democratic leader who's doing really well. It's like no one wants to violently overthrow the democratic leader who's doing well. It's like
yeah, so essentially just evil always destroys itself.
Yeah.
Whereas justice obviously doesn't. Justice, when practiced, continues to increase itself.
Do you think that people are inherently good?
No, I think that's something that needs to be taught. I mean, dude, it's obvious in little kids. It's very obvious in little kids. I'm not saying that there's malintentions right away.
Mm-hmm.
But think of all the stupid shit you did as a kid. For me, a good one was I thought it was funny to throw rocks at my neighbors.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was funny to throw rocks at my neighbors. I quickly learned that that's not funny and that's not good. I didn't think about how that affected them. Obviously.
Interesting. So, how I interpret that question, like, do you think people are inherently good? I was thinking, like, that basically boils down to, like, are people selfish or not? I think just because like social interaction and being accepted by society is, from an evolutionary standpoint, it's very advantageous, right? If you can get help, right? It's basically you get to live longer, you know. Just simple things like teamwork. If you don't have to grow food, like that other guy's growing food and he'll sell it to you, it's like, hey, that's good. You can do other stuff that benefits society. So I think people are inherently good, but I do accept that, while people are usually have a capacity for selflessness, there's just the averages. Like, just because that's the average doesn't mean that there's no extremities on either side. So,
well, I think Jordan Peterson brings up a good point. For those who aren't familiar with Jordan Peterson, you can YouTube him.
YouTube thing.
I wanted to say you can Google him, but you can like go on YouTube and watch his stuff. He always talks about how everybody has the capacity to do evil, and we toe that line every day in the decisions that we make. So,
damn.
And I mean, that's true. Think about all the times that you maybe thought of doing something that only interested you, and obviously was bad to whoever or whatever that was associated with.
Mm-hmm.
That happens all the time. Even something as small as there's a red light and there's no cars coming and I want to go. I don't really have that, but I'm bringing up it as an example of something. Or like there's a stop sign.
Oh, so like
I'm late to work. There's a stop sign. I'm not going to stop fully. I'm just going to slow down to like 10 miles per hour and then gun it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, although you might not have
like
hurt
all aspects of life. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just giving an idea, an example of toying with evil, even though that might not seem like a big evil. There is malintent because you're disobeying a law that helps society function.
Yeah.
And you set a precedent for other people who might have seen you to be like, well, if he's not going to follow the law, then I'm not going to follow the law. And that could be a chain reaction. Obviously, people have the capacity to make their own decisions. And people have the capacity to show that dude that, hey, it's not cool to do that. And maybe he won't do it next time.
Interesting. This podcast took a super philosophical turn. Oh, man.
So back to Bitcoin. No.
Yeah, back to Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, I like philosophy, and
yeah,
it's life. I mean, it's just the conversations of like the things that happen to you every day. This is what this podcast is about.
Yeah,
you know, it's just what are the thoughts that we had, or what happened in the world, and what are our thoughts on it.
So it's kind of funny because I was talking to someone about this podcast, right? Kind of how we, we don't plan exactly what we're going to talk about. Like,
we have ideas, because
we have ideas.
We know what we want to talk about because of what happened during the week.
Yeah, but I was talking to them and saying like all the random thoughts that I wrote down this week to try to bring up, they were like super existential, like super deep questions that like keep me awake at night, you know. And I was saying like, I don't like, do you have any suggestions for topics, because I don't really feel like diving deep into the machinations of the human mind, you know, like on a Friday night.
It's not like we have to do that all the time anyways. It's just whatever comes up. It's a natural, you know. This is a casual conversation.
Yeah, this is a casual conversation just between me and Omar.
Yeah, and today we're gonna pour water into a plant.
Yeah. If you listen to our last podcast, you'll understand that we talked about ASMR, which is why we're whispering into our microphones.
Yeah. And now I'm gonna play the drums with a chicken leg. Alright, let's get away with that.
Nice. Okay. So let's stop waxing about the grand like happenings of the universe.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that we had the wax on and now we're gonna take the wax off?
Wax on, wax off. That's how it works. Yeah. Right. So I guess this is, well, while we're talking about like
Wax.
human condition and stuff like that. So before the podcast, Omar and I took the Myers-Briggs personality test, right? So for those who you don't know about Myers-Briggs, I thought you did. I saw you taking it, so I'm hoping that you did, or else that was a very elaborate prank. Anyway, we took the test, and like just because we were curious about, like kind of what do they categorize us as? If you're not familiar with Myers-Briggs, it's basically a personality test that tries to put you into certain archetypes of personalities. I think there's like 16 personalities. That's what this website says that we took it on. So you just answer questions about ways that you would, like, basically if you agree or disagree about ways that you interact with other people or ways that you plan. And then answering those questions, like it does the calculations and it spits out an acronym. It's a 5-letter acronym, right? So if you hear people say oh, well, mine is.
Yeah, it is. My bad.
Oh, yours is only a 3-letter acronym? Oh, okay. But yeah, so if someone says that they're I think this is where type A personality comes from. Maybe. Yeah, okay. But anyway, so we don't know what each other's Myers-Briggs test or personality is, but we're gonna reveal it right now. So, Omar, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I can give it a shot.
What is your thing?
My personality is I'm apparently an ESTJ.
All right. What's the name of that?
ESTJ-A. I am an executive personality today.
Executive personality.
Yeah.
All right. Give us a little bit of summary. What is the description?
So we took this on 16personalities.com. That's 16 written out as 16. And it says, executives are representatives of tradition and order, utilizing their understanding of what is right, wrong, and socially acceptable to bring families and communities together. That's really weird. I would have never thought of myself as that. Embracing I guess I wouldn't say I didn't think of myself as that. Embracing the values of honesty, dedication, and dignity. It's true. I've definitely been focusing on being
brutally
more honest.
I'm so yeah, like fucking roast people. So that's very true.
I embrace the values of honesty, dedication, dignity. People with executive personality types are valued for their clear advice and guidance, and they happily lead the way on difficult paths. You're goddamn right, I do. Goddamn right I do. There are some times where I'm just like, damn it, I'm the one that has to do this. I mean, and once again, that's a part of the executive, is that I feel like I have to do it. So
yeah. So there's a section under the explore your type box that says strengths and weaknesses. Can you go to that? Just read that off. I'm kind of curious. This is basically what's your what's your class type?
So my executive strengths are dedication, absolutely. Strong-willed, 100%. Direct and honest, oh, you know it. Loyal, patient, and reliable, yeah, absolutely. Enjoy creating order. Yeah, I like creating. So I guess order would be a nice thing to create.
Creating
Definitely,
order.
I'm organized.
It's an interesting way to phrase that.
I'm an excellent organizer. I'm getting there. I feel like I'm not a perfect organizer, but I'm pretty damn good so far. My weaknesses: inflexible and stubborn. Yeah, absolutely. Uncomfortable with unconventional situations. I don't know about that one. You know what? No, that is true. I like sticking to my routines for the most part, and I guess I'm talking more so for example, when I went to Utah to vacation, in a sense. I don't know. Can you call it vacation when you're 20?
I mean, hey, no, it's a personal holiday. Yeah.
Yes.
Took time off work.
When I went to Utah, I was like, damn it. I want to go to Utah, but I'm not going to be able to run like I do. I'm not going to be able to get all the things done like I usually do. So for a while, I was like, do I really want to go? But then I was like, no, I need to go. This is going to be cool. So yeah, I guess that is definitely true. I can definitely be uncomfortable with stuff like that. Okay. But I'm definitely not uncomfortable with new ideas. I'm judgmental. Who isn't? Too focused on social status. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't see why you would want to be known as a loser. Difficult to relax. I'm pretty chill. But that's one thing I like relaxing. And I have a difficulty expressing emotion. You can ask my girlfriend. I think I'm pretty good at expressing my emotions for the most part.
Mm-hmm. So, would you say it's about like 70% correct then?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
About 70%. So
maybe 75.
I think so for you. Yeah, for you, I think that was decently accurate. Like most of the traits that it said were like, yeah, that kind of aligns
sense.
with you. I do have some opinions about the way that this test is set up and the way that it presents results, but before we get to that, I'm gonna tell you about mine. So, my thing is gonna have to go back to the page. All right, I am an INTJ, A or T. All right, I guess there's like, yeah, A or T, whatever that is. Which is the architect personality.
What?
Wow, what an architect. Yep.
What?
But this is weird. So it's not. This is okay. This is why I don't like the Myers-Briggs test, because I think it basically strokes some people's egos, because it's kind of like fortune telling, except that it's obvious things. So but also like I believe this one is gonna make me sound, or this is gonna sound super pretentious, but here we go. Let me fix my mic. It's lonely at the top, and being one of the rarest and most strategically capable personality types, architects know this all too well. Architects form just 2% of the population, and women of this personality type are especially rare, forming just 0.8% of the population. It is often a challenge for them to find the like-minded individuals who are able to keep up with their relentless intellectualism and chess-like maneuvering. People with the architect personality type are imaginative yet decisive, ambitious yet private, amazingly curious, but they do not squander their energy. That sounds super pretentious. That's basically saying like, you're part of the 2%. Congratulations. You're fucking amazing. So, I mean, just looking through the page, I kind of agree with some of the things. Because, you know, I think the thing that it emphasizes most is planning. Like basically, I really do not like situations where I'm not confident in the outcome. You know, like I will plan things like incessantly until like I'm sure that things are going to happen.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
why
like
you're an
improv.
engineer.
Yeah, you know, got to get those calculations, then put in a little bit of factor of safety just in case.
You know what Henry Ford said?
What?
Yeah, engineers can build my cars, but they couldn't run a business.
Yeah, that's true.
Boom.
I totally concede that. I mean,
and that's not a diss. It's just engineers want everything to be perfect, but at some point you got to sell the thing.
It's yeah. That's why there's business people. And also like taking risks. I mean, like I don't really take risks. I just take calculated decisions. Anyway, so here's the strengths and weaknesses. Quick, imaginative, and strategic mind.
Those are your weaknesses?
They're strengths. Yeah, my weakness is that I'm awesome. So that, yeah, sure. I don't think I have an imaginative mind, but I like to think I'm quick-witted. Puns.
Yeah, obviously.
Have you ever heard me make puns? There you go. Hell yeah.
Oh, it's so funny, dude. It's so funny. Speaking of being quick-witted, this morning, I was at work and I was making a drink, and I guess I technically made it wrong. I did like a different amount of pumps of a syrup or something.
Yeah.
And one of my coworkers was like, you know, this is how you're actually supposed to make it, and you just did it wrong. And he was like, yeah, well, you know what? I don't care.
That's sassy. Jeez. Okay. Man, damn, dude. Like fucking brutal honesty.
It tasted good.
There you go. I mean, if it tasted good, that's not a mistake.
The customer
that's
thanked me.
innovation.
They're like, they came in. They're like, wow, this is really good. I'm like, all right.
Was it the caramel lady?
No.
Oh, okay. It's like, wow, you put more caramel than last time. It's like, okay. Anyway, here's the first thing that I'm kind of doubting about this test. High self-confidence. I am not a confident person. I'm able to put on a facade.
How are you ever gonna be confident if you don't tell yourself you're confident? Come on.
The paradox. Nice.
I don't know if it's a paradox.
I mean, there is fake it till you make it. That has worked for me for a couple times. Like basically I will force myself to be in a leadership role. Even if I'm not entirely sure that I'll be extremely confident, but then fake it till you make it. All right, I think I'm doing fine.
I have a slight problem with the phrase "fake it to make it." Mm-hmm. I don't think you're faking it when you go out and try to do it. I think you're just trying to do it, and you've never done it before, so you have no idea exactly what to do. You're not faking it. You're trying to emulate what you want to be, and by emulating it, you are becoming it. So how are you faking it?
I think the faking part implies that you said that you were qualified to those depending on your qualifications when you are in fact not.
Yeah, okay, so if you're talking about for example,
actual faking it.
I want to be a manager and I don't have the actual qualifications, but if I fake it and I get the manager job,
learn.
I guess that's a bad thing. Yeah, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about more so if you want to be a person who's confident, and if you want to be if you want to be a person who's confident,
you should put yourself out there.
Yeah. If you want to, don't be afraid to say things. And look, even when you're wrong, be confident enough to be like, you know what, I was wrong, and I will learn from this, and I will move on, and that's about it. And that's confidence.
Yeah.
So, don't fake it till you make it necessarily. Practice it and perfect it. Practice it and perfect it.
This is a motivational podcast.
You can do anything. Just think
do anything as long as it is
will make it
within
happen.
The bounds of legal. As long as it's legal, you can do it. So here are the weaknesses, and this is what I really find interesting. Arrogant, judgmental, overly analytical, loathes highly structured environments, and clueless in romance. Single tier.
Wait, what does it say? What was that last one?
We're gonna move over that last one. Okay, arrogant and judgmental. So I judge people privately, but I think everyone does, right? I mean, that's just you gotta be objective. It's you're no good at writing that report.
To anybody
that's
an
observation.
To anybody who says I don't judge people, that is 110% bullshit. It is your instinct to judge people. When you walk down the street at night and there's a random dude walking the opposite way, or a random dude that crosses the street and is following behind you, you may say, this person might be a danger to me.
Yeah.
That's judging the person. And
that's just
not
being aware of
judging
people.
Isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes you say, I think that person is really smart. Yeah, you're judging them.
Yeah. That's just being aware. So, the difference is, should you, actual judgmental people are ones that verbalize that. They will tell you straight up to your face, hey, here's what I think about you.
No, I would say...
Well, actually, no, that's not right.
I would say people who aren't good at being sociable or being personable are those that are verbal about it. But you can still be judgmental in your head, and
you don't have tact.
Yeah. You're not charismatic in that sense. But a person who judges in their head will still I don't know if they'll hurt themselves. They will hurt themselves.
Yeah.
Because you'll judge someone and you'll say, I don't want to talk to that person, but that person might have the keys to success in your life.
Yeah. So, back to my opinions on Myers-Briggs tests, right? So, the thing with this test that I find, wait, what?
This test is shit, though. You just go
sorta.
into a full rant.
So last podcast we talked about homeotherapy and rocks. When we were talking about that, it's basically the rocks do what you want them to do. It's pretty much I think it's pretty much the same with this test. Yes, you answered questions truthfully, and so you can derive some analysis from that. But the way that these things are worded, it's basically it tells you things that like you think that, or things that you want to be, you know. And also it's like no one would say like, oh no, I'm not that, because usually like you're taking these tests to share with someone. So it's like, oh yeah, of course I'm let me go back to mine. Of course I'm like very like calm, like I'm very decisive and stuff like that, because no one would say like, oh no, like none of this is true, you know. It's like I'm totally not this awesome person that the personality test tries to paint me as. So that's my personal opinion about the Myers-Briggs test. Should you take it?
I think
yeah, you should. It might give you insight. But should you take it seriously and use it for employment purposes? Hell no.
Yeah, no. I mean, and typically you'll answer the questions based on what you think is gonna like make you seem like a better person.
There is a self-fulfilling prophecy thing going on there. It's like, oh, a good person.
It's confirmation bias. It's I think I'm this, therefore, if I think I'm this, I'm gonna answer the questions accordingly.
It'd be more accurate for someone to follow you around and record like your actions for different situations.
Dude,
that'd be more accurate.
If you click on the romantic relationships,
oh boy,
I think it's funny because mine says, and if you ask Katie, she'll agree. It says, executive personality types are likely to be clear about who they are, what they're like, and what their goals are from the start, and to stick to those statements long term. So long as their partner is able to take them at their word and follow suit, they are bound to be extremely stable relationships.
Mine says, in romance, people with the architect personality type approach things the way they do with most situations. They compose a series of calculated actions with a predicted and desirable end goal.
That's so weird.
Yeah, that kind of reduces romance to a series of
hello and goodbye
statistics.
Well, not just that. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna take that literally, I'm studying to be an architect, and none of that is true.
I think they use architect as in like the grand planner, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, like the guy in the Matrix was called the architect. It's like, no, it was more appropriate to call him an AI. But anyway, I just find this funny because like there are some things that are very true. You know, like of course, like you would like the way that I answered questions, like yeah, that implies this type of person.
Yeah, and honestly, how many days until Bobby Shmurda gets out?
2,155.
Yeah, and so what I think is interesting about this test, what I don't like about this test more specifically, some of the questions are worded so poorly that I like what was the one we talked about?
It was
Do you rely more on your experience or your imagination?
It's like your experience is based off of your imagination.
And not just that, I mean, sometimes your imagination has nothing to do with what's happening.
Yeah. Like, you could word these things a lot more clearly.
Obviously.
One of the problems with the test.
And once again, a lot of those questions are also preloaded. You can tell exactly what it's going to affect if you respond a certain way. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's that simple.
It goes back to the thing that you said. Basically, like, you answer the way that you want to answer.
But hey, you know, everybody's a critic. Everybody's a critic, so... Including
us. If you're a critic, comment down below with your Myers-Briggs test personality type. And
if you're not a critic, do that too.
Yeah, do that too. And
the other
we'll probably not read them because no one comments on face.
I'll read them.
I'll read them, but like we're not going to do anything with them.
Yeah, I'll reply.
Yeah, we'll send you a free shirt.
I will literally reply with hello.
Just that?
Just hello. The other thing that I was going to say is, honestly, we should save these results.
Really?
And then take it in like the next 6 months or in a year. Because I was telling you, like, last time I took this, I was a completely different personality.
Oh, yeah. Last time I took it, I was, whatever the teacher one is. I've always been INTJ, but the last time I took it, which was about a year or two ago, it was the teacher archetype?
For the last time I took it, I'm looking at these. I think I was the protagonist or the advocate.
Oh wait, did they? I guess not the teacher. Which one was I?
You know what? What category does executive? Okay, so I was under the category of centennials, and you're under the category of analysts, obviously. I don't know what centennial exactly means. Or sentinels, sorry, sentinels.
Oh, wait. Okay, I think I took this under a different, like a different website, which is why it gave me a different name for the archetype. But actually, I've been...
Do you have architect? I see it. INTJ.
No, but I remember, like, being told that I was the teacher archetype. But that's not a thing. I do remember I was INTJ. There is no other INTJ thing. So maybe I was the logistician?
Logician?
Logician, yeah. Words are hard.
Yeah, you're just such a logician.
But just like thinking about it, maybe I think... No, I'm pretty sure I was INTJ, like last time I took this. So I didn't change much. But Omar's point still stands. Like, you can take this test multiple times and get multiple different answers. Because it's very dependent on just your overall thought process, like during that day. And that changes. Yeah.
And over the year, you'll change as a person. So
yeah.
And I think it's cool. I think we should map it out. I think we should do this like every 6 months.
Oh, hey. So last podcast we talked about like I send emails to myself every 6 months. I should just attach my Myers-Briggs test results to that. Like, hey, by the way, INTJ? Question mark? yeah, same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I think so. It's nice. It's nice to see how you go. And obviously that's not like a full representation of who you are, but it's a nice like little indicator of the person you might be.
It can be useful to an extent. Again, don't use it for interpersonal relationships. It's like if you see someone or if you know someone's personality type and it's not compatible with yours.
Did I ever bring this up to you? Did I ever tell you about how I sat down in a Chipotle once in the city? I don't think I did then, because you would know what I'm talking about. So
what happened?
This was a couple weeks ago. I always get Chipotle. I don't know why I decided that day to think this, but I was sitting in one of the stools, the bar stools where you're looking out the window. Yeah. And I realized I look like an ad for Chipotle. Like that is like so. When you think of a storefront,
from what perspective?
Hold on. Let me explain this. When you think of a storefront, you think of like a clothing store. You think of a model with clothes that are, of that brand or whatever. Yeah. And what I was thinking was, wow, even though this might not be true, this is an incredible way to advertise your food, is by having people eat it as people walk by.
Yeah, because people see like
people see you eat it and enjoying it.
Yeah, if you're facing outside, people will see you enjoying your food. Yeah. It's like, oh damn, that's a pretty good burrito. And then, I could go for a burrito right now.
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm not hungry, but damn, I want to be happy like that dude or something,
Yeah.
I'm like,
advertising's weird. Like subtle things like that is genius.
I broke through that day and I was like, wow.
Did it just change your worldview?
It did, because I was like, whoa, I never thought I was doing even though like I said, I'm not sure if Chipotle actually thought of this, although with the amount of people that they hire, I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, someone has to come up with it.
Yeah,
it's too good.
Holy crap! But I'm surprised I've never heard of this. If you ever
really subtle like street advertising.
Yeah, that's really subtle. Like you're literally participating in an ad every time you eat at the front of a Chipotle. Like I never thought of that.
Do you know remember the Coke, like your name on Coke bottles and stuff like that?
Yeah, but that's obvious advertising.
Yeah, that's true. I guess like
obvious. Like
well,
that Chipotle
the really subtle
was
things
so subtle.
like the really subtle things we wouldn't notice it as advertising. We just accept it as fact. Like that's just the way that they do that.
That's why it was such an incredible and maybe it's not incredible, but it was such a damn cool breakthrough that I realized that I could potentially be an advertiser for Chipotle.
Yep.
And I never thought of that. And frankly, if I owned Chipotle stock, I would do it more often.
Jeez.
That's not how that works. But
oh man, like I wish we had more time to talk about. I'll bring it up anyway. So, I think while we're talking about advertising, I think one, like how there's conspiracies about, like there's like like the Illuminati, like Freemasons, stuff like that. How like they're controlling the world and stuff like that. I think there's definitely like an incredibly like powerful force. It's not the Illuminati. It's just advertisers.
Yeah, it's also called the Federal Reserve, but...
What? No, I'm talking about, like, influencing, like, people's just thinking. It's advertisers. So it's the thing that you just said, right? Sitting in front of a Chipotle, or sitting in a Chipotle, basically, while you're using their product, you are advertising their product, right? Someone had to come up with that. Same thing with basically every ad.
But did they?
Someone had to design.
So weird.
Dude, you're an architect. Someone had to design the inside of that space. You had to give decisions.
As an architect, I would have thought, I want people to be able to look outside or see more light, so I'm gonna put the benches by the I would have.
And then
never
some marketing guy probably said like, "Hey, that's a pretty good idea. We should like, But back to what I was saying. Advertisers basically control what you think, and I'm not talking about like they're like burrowing into your minds. Like no, it's just like everyone learns advertising techniques. It's applied on such a grand scale that wherever you go, it's affected by branding, marketing, like campaigns and stuff like that. Also, we're not affected by the YouTube adpocalypse because we don't earn money on these videos. But
well, I mean, do we
monetize?
Even if people don't monetize, they can still be affected by the algorithm.
Oh, yeah. The algorithms, but we don't
we're not big.
Yeah, we're not YouTube partners. So we're not affected by that directly.
Oh, aren't we technically YouTube partners if we're putting?
You need 1,000 subscribers.
Website?
You need no. There's like an official definition now. They changed that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Basically, if you put out a product, right, that you want to, on the internet, right, you hear all the time about advertisers pulling their ads from, services and stuff like that, most notably on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, you absolutely know what I'm talking about. That's basically a form of social influence. Like, hey, we don't want to, or we don't like what you're saying, so we're gonna pull our ads, basically like ruin your source of income. That's kind of like censorship. It's not on the same level of like actual censorship, like killing people and like silencing them in real life, but it has a lot of the same effects. You're not allowing someone to use or to spread whatever message that they want, because you're cutting off their source of income and thus removing any incentive for them to, or incentive or ability for them to actually share their message.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of times it's, and part of the adpocalypse, it's really affected certain people's freedom of speech, where they had an outlet that was gaining a lot of views and certain ideas were being promulgated, and I guess we would get into a discussion on freedom of speech, but essentially, when these advertisers pull out Okay, here's a good one. PewDiePie.
All I do is pull
PewDiePie.
out.
Disney pulled their revenue, their whatever they were paying PewDiePie for. They pulled his show. They pulled his show.
I think
they pulled his
yeah.
show. He had
Yeah.
a show that he worked with Disney, and obviously PewDiePie says what he wants to say, and then he was being portrayed as a Nazi.
Yeah, a lot of that was taken out of context
by the Wall Street Journal. Yes, absolutely.
Well, the N-word stuff was just really weird, but that was way after the Disney stuff, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, look, at the end of the day, the guy's joking. The guy's a really nice guy. He actually, I think for the most part, he has really good values. I've seen a lot of his stuff, and his bros are, or at least what he tries to, the community he tries to build he tries to instill values of, hey, we're here to have fun, we're here to be good people. And yeah, obviously we can take jokes, and sometimes they're not comfortable jokes, but they're not malintended.
Yeah, I haven't watched PewDiePie content in like a really long time, so I can't speak to the community.
And he has when he has said something that was just plain stupid, he has been like, you know what, guys, I said this, and I know it's completely stupid, and I want to apologize because I don't want you guys to think that that's okay, because I don't think it's okay. Like, he's done that. But obviously, the Wall Street Journal is going to do what it wants, and they pictured it. They promulgated this notion that he was a Nazi because he paid. He went on Five. What is that? What's that website? Fiverr.
Yeah, you have to pay people like, I guess, a couple bucks to do something.
Five. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
five.
He paid
5 units.
He put out an ad, or he paid one of these guys to make a video to hold up a sign that says "Kill all Jews," and they actually did it. And he was laughing, and people were taking that as, "Oh my God, he hates Jews." It's like, no, he was laughing because someone actually thought that it was okay, like that it wasn't a big deal to do that.
Yeah, I interpreted that as like he was laughing at the ridiculousness of the situation.
It was absolutely
like, holy
ridiculous.
Shit, they actually.
Why would you ever do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you do that for $5? What the hell?
Yeah, that was definitely not laughing like, haha, like, you know.
I guess I won. Yes, kill all the Jews. No.
Yeah.
That's not what he was saying. He was laughing at the fact that, holy crap, I can't believe they did this. Just like when in elementary school there was that one dude that always mixed ketchup with ranch, with milk, with whatever, and he actually drank it when you told him to, and you laughed.
Yeah, I remember that kid. Well, every school had that kid.
There was always a kid like that, and you're like, oh my God, I'm not laughing at the fact that I think that was good or something, like that I liked that. It was, no, holy crap, I can't believe he did that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Going back to the advertisers, basically, when Disney pulled his ads, and also I guess to tie it to something a little bit more recent, I was gonna talk about Logan Paul, but that's not the same thing. Like, I think Logan Paul is a dick. Like, I don't like his content. I'm not subscribed.
I sound super familiar. I don't remember who Logan Paul is.
Logan Paul is that one guy who he basically filmed a dead body in the Japanese suicide, or in one of the Japanese suicide forests, just like made a joke out of it. It was just not a good thing to do.
It's not tasteful. Yeah, it's absolutely not tasteful.
Yeah, he was also like an actual like jerk to a lot of people in Japan, like just being incredibly rude in public. So that's I don't think so.
Yeah, that's stupid.
It is on the surface. It is basically the same situation where advertisers pulled ads from Logan Paul videos because they don't like what he does.
Companies have the right to pull ads if they want to pull their ads. They don't have to pay.
And also place ads where they want.
Yeah. But sometimes you can tell when it's obvious that they're doing this for some political reason, or just following the tide, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you're inhibiting people's opportunities to grow their ideas or their concepts, and that's shitty.
So here's the thing.
World's unfair.
So I think advertising companies think that, oh, this company's ads are going to be next to this video, so people are going to associate the ad with the video. It's like I think maybe I'm gonna make this up, like Walmart placed ads next to a like a neo-Nazi video. It's like, oh, Walmart supports neo-Nazis. It's like no.
That is such a
like
a 70, 60 or 80-year-olds like mentality of like, oh, obviously they paid for this ad. This like you know how like certain TV channels are like
this content was brought to you by, you know.
Yeah, and is not affiliated with the thoughts or beliefs of this channel. It's like
that is not, at least I think with our generation, that is not how we view ads. Because ads are so targeted, if I see an advertisement, I immediately think like, oh, it's because like, you know, the cookies followed me, it's targeted marketing, so it's just aimed towards me. It's not because it's next to this video. Obviously, like, you know, sometimes like let's say I'm on Reddit, right? There's clearly a demographic for Reddit, right? So the ads will be more targeted towards that general demographic as well as me. Let's say I'm on REI, the REI website. Wait, do they put ads? I don't think so.
Yeah, they do.
Like for other companies?
Okay.
Let's say I'm on Facebook then, right? I'm on Facebook.
Well, I have a good example. I have a good example.
Go for it.
So when I started looking into Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin, all of a sudden I started seeing ads for Bitcoin and mining.
Yeah, targeted ads.
Sun mining, and I'm like, even though the video I was watching had nothing to do with Bitcoin, I knew, I was like, oh wow, they obviously figured out that I was trying to look for Bitcoin info.
Yeah, it's like Sun Mining isn't sponsoring that content.
No,
they just allowed their content to be shown next to like that type of stuff.
More specifically, it was the algorithm on YouTube that said, oh, okay, the analytics are showing that he's watching this more, so we're gonna put him in this pool of demographics.
Yeah,
and
it's advertisers pay to get access to pools, right? Those pools are based off of demographics, you know, just very general.
Again, it's such an old way of thinking that, oh, if this ad is playing, then obviously they're affiliated with that company in some way. Yeah, you know,
it's like not an automatic thing. Like, especially on the internet, it's not an automatic thing that your ads are associated with or by proximity. In real life, though, yeah, it's kind of obvious. Like when I go to a baseball game and I see ads everywhere, it's like, yeah, they paid for the stadium, or they're paying to be there, or they're paying to have their name called out, like in the announcements and stuff like that. It's like, that's a lot more obvious. On the internet, where there's tracking, you know, like ad tracking, like click through analysis and stuff like that, you know, ads are everywhere. They're targeted towards you, they're not there just because
they're not there because of the company or the person.
Yeah,
like if there's suddenly an ad right now that's like, oh hi, my name's Ty Lopez and here's my Lamborghini and here's my books and this is how you can be smart. No, we did not talk to Ty Lopez to put his stupid ad in front of this video.
Yeah, it's just that it was.
I read books.
It was just placed there because of whatever you, our listener, probably like you just were in that demographic to be targeted by.
Like if
Ty
there's
Lopez,
an ad, if there's an ad for BitConnect X in front of this video, we are not affiliated with in any way. BitConnect X is a fraud, just like BitConnect. Do not.
I'm guessing you don't run ad blocker.
No, I run ad blocker. I
me
do.
Too. Well, I turn it off for certain YouTube channels because support your content creators.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. That's the thing that I like about ad block is that sometimes I'm like, you know what? I like this website a lot, so I don't care that I get ads.
Yeah, it's like,
I
this
know that
is
they
a
get
real
paid,
good.
so.
This is real good content. I'm gonna support that.
So there are some YouTube channels where you can be their Patreon, and I don't necessarily want to do that, but I can help out by just letting the ads run.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's my way of supporting. Doesn't cost me anything.
Ads run a surprising amount of our everyday lives.
I was gonna
like
say
the way that we think. So it's
I was
just
gonna
interesting.
say,
Be aware of it at the very least.
I didn't think we knew anybody with a marketing background, but we do.
Who?
Dan.
I thought he was graphics. Or is he?
He's going into advertising.
I could see that. I think he would do really well.
We should get him on the show. Dan, if you're listening,
we should
call us.
We should plug his Instagram.
His Instagram?
Can we do that?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think he posts like his professional projects on there.
Why not?
Should we? I mean, yeah,
Dan's
why not?
a fellow buddy.
I'm looking this up. It would
Dan's
be. We should try to get him on the show because
That'd be awesome.
like one. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's a very interesting dude, so I feel like he'll have some pretty good opinions.
Yeah, Dan Corey is a graphic designer. He's an advertising major and graphic designer at UIUC. Graduate.
Yep.
Hashtag 2019. Oh, he has a portfolio. Cool. DanielCorey.wixsite.com. Dan, let me tell you, I also use Wix. I definitely think it's worth just paying the amount of money to get your domain.
Yep. So DanielCorey.wixsite.com. Visit it. I'm on it right now. It looks a lot. It looks good.
Yeah, danielcorey.wixsite.com/website. That's DanielCorey.wixsite.com/website.
Be sure to use our coupon code Chucklers 2018 to get 0% off your next purchase at the website.
Yeah, so I think it'd be good to have him on. I think it'd be good to have him on and talk about this stuff because I think that's interesting. It's definitely psychological and in a sense philosophical conversation we could have.
It's basically like third party like externally messing with someone's mind to get them to do what they want. And I mean, it's not like done in nefarious ways most of the time. I hope. It is very interesting. So. Let's have a look.
Well, hey, you know what? It's been an hour. It's about the time that we shoot for.
Closing time.
I want to go to bed because I'm tired from doing everything today.
Yeah, we record these podcasts late.
Friday
night.
Late.
Oh, also, we also record these podcasts 1 week early, so
that we can make sure we're scheduled. I mean, don't forget to tune in Fridays at noon, where they get posted. Live. They get posted live, but they're not.
Posted live. You can see us post it. So, like, just for context, today is the 16th of February, 2018. So, like, this is gonna be posted 7 days from now.
The 21st.
21st. Yeah.
Oh.
Hey.
Man.
So yeah, if you ask us about something like, "Hey, this is wrong. You should do this in the next podcast," it's like, "Oh, it's too late. We recorded this a week ago." So
but we can do it for the next podcast.
We could. But again, we'd be 2 weeks behind.
And we could also just respond to the commenters. So
we could.
Boom.
If there were any.
But hey,
so be sure to smash that like button. Comment down below about what you like. Hit that subscribe button to be so then you're made aware of all of our new content as it comes out. Be sure to visit our website, as Omar said before, Chucklers.
There's a bunch more content. Yeah, the link is also in the description. It's a really long website name, even though I just told Dan, hey, you should pay for it.
Ours is way longer than Dan's right now because it's like, but yeah, I'm about to post a new blog. Probably by the time that this website comes out, it's going to be up there. Everyone's posting new content.
This is actually the first week that I didn't blog post. It wasn't because I didn't want to. It's because I had a huge deadline for a project this week, and I just couldn't.
Oh, yeah,
I have a couple of blog posts that I'm gonna post over the weekend. So
yeah, so we're gonna try to get more people. Yeah, we're gonna try to get more people on just to keep things interesting because, just in case you're getting bored of Omar and I's voices, I don't know why you would be. We're gonna freshen things up a little bit, so stay tuned.
Yeah, I'm working on an architecture video vlog. No, not a vlog, but a side architecture
project.
Educational in a sense. Video content.
Series.
Yeah, an architecture video series.
Content.
I'm working on the name. It's really crappy right now. It's Archie with Omar, but I mean, I don't know. I think that's smooth.
I'm trying to start that political commentary show with Maddie, and it's like we're at step 0. So be sure to look out for that in a month, maybe.
If ever.
See where that goes.
Gotta prove it. I recommend you do it first before you talk about it.
Hey, when it comes out, it comes out. We'll be sure to, well,
the
hit
womb
that
never
little,
forgets.
After you hit that subscribe button, don't forget to hit that little bell icon so then you're notified when new content comes out as it comes out.
As if we didn't tell you that it comes out every Friday at noon.
Yeah, that's basically when this podcast comes. But in case you don't have a watch,
in case you don't have a watch.
In case you do not have a watch.
We're being very specific.
Yeah.
Or if you're in the car, on a long commute, and noon happens to scroll by. Yeah, that's not wrong. And you want to you're bored in traffic and you want to listen to pop this in. Pop that cassette in with Tree Chucklers.
Hey, pop it in.
All right. Okay. Well, hey, it's been fun. This is the Tree Chucklers podcast number 7. Thank you to those of you who have actually listened to the end. We do appreciate it. To those who listen all the way, it definitely means a lot. And once we get our first comment, we'll be super excited. We're gonna make an insane podcast when we get to 10 subscribers. So be tuned for that.
10 subscribers special. Tune in to that one.
We're gonna give out $10 million.
Yeah. So be sure to share this video.
That's how that
enter to win in the raffle.
We also are not gonna give out $10 million, and that was a lie.
We can't do that.
Which means that I wasn't being honest. So much for that.
It's a joke. Jokes are lies.
All right, guys.
That's the whole point.
As always, check out our website, and we will see you guys on the next podcast.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Skibbity boobity wobbity.
Bubble it out.